G'day, it's Steve from offthegridnoz.com again. Thought I'd just run another quick video up about how much effort does it take. It's such a big question, this how much effort does it take, and it's so relative. Relativity is just something that gets, dragged into the equation with every individual person because everyone's relativity is slightly different. And what I wanted to talk about, this is Sunday morning. It's just turned 1 o'clock. Me and the missus, me and Kerry have been up since about 8 o'clock, and we've been working on that thing over there, those things that aren't painted yet. That's actually the surrounding shade cloth areas that go right around the kitchen. They're right over there. There's got those little big zoom, sorry about that if it's blurry. Yeah, we've been doing stuff like Kerry's been staining and I've been doing the little infill, the pretty bits we call it. And I thought I'd talk about effort. This thing called willpower. Willpower is one of those things that everyone has within them. I get sick to death of people. I'm a builder, so yes, I do things and I try and make them pretty. I don't just make them functional. I go out of my way to make them pretty, and that's just the way I work. But even if you haven't got the skill to be pretty, even the most ordinary agricultural thing that you might attempt to do when you go off grid will take effort, and this effort has to I swore, sorry about that, Kerry said not to swear. This thing called effort takes willpower, and we're actually just talking about this willpower thing a little while ago. Willpower is a funny thing that resides within everyone. It isn't just because Steve, I get all my relatives and people come up to me and go, oh, you're Mr. Bloody Superman. Well, guess what? Steve isn't Superman. Steve isn't a miracle worker. Steve isn't God. Steve isn't bloody anything. All Steve has is what I'm trying to explain to a lot of the younger people especially. I'm 61 and I still have a really good attitude as far as making an effort. I will make an effort to put that little piece of lattice in the top there to make it look pretty, and then stain it all up and shade cloth it. I go to a little bit of extra effort. And this thing called willpower is something that people think is a physical or a tangible thing. It isn't anything other than waking up in the morning knowing that you feel like shit, or perhaps are knocked around from digging a few holes the day before, or maybe you did some heavy duty gardening, and when you wake up in the morning, and we wake up about 6 o'clock, this is another thing, routine with this sort of work, this off-grid stuff, if you're doing it yourself, routine is really critical. You need to be able to get yourself motivated and into a routine where at 8 o'clock you almost feel guilty yourself because you're not doing what you know you should be doing. You have to drag things to do with willpower from the innards, from your mind, the recesses of your mind, the drive, the energies, the effort, all has to come from places that have nothing to do with just standing up and lifting an arm up in the air and picking a hammer up. You have to have this thing inside you happening, this enthusiasm, the knowledge. If you wake up every day knowing that what you're going to do every day will turn you around the next day and make you look back on the day before and go, well, bugger me dead, that looks good, that was worth the effort. And if you can just lock and load that, every single day becomes the day before, meaning that every day you put in, you will look back on and you'll have a day before to turn around and go, well, I'll be damned, that was really worth the effort. The problem with most people is their effort doesn't last long. I see a lot of people who want to do things and they go, yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and they fall into another category. You've got Mr. Jones, who is the average dude that lives outside the gate, and in off the grid you have a lot of people who turn into eternal dreamers. They're eternal planners. Planner is probably the best one. It takes very little effort to plan something. You can plan whatever you want. Oh, that's probably a bit blurry. I'm playing with the camera while I'm rattling on here. But yeah, look, eternal planners will want to do that little piece of lattice infill, but they won't ever do it. It'll be something in their mind. They won't wake up in the morning and do what Kerry did, which is pick up the paintbrush and continue staining. She's working on the other side at the moment. And this is like this is a big stain job, all these beams and trusses. This is about a 3-day job for her. And because she's sort of not a young lady anymore, she does it in batches of 2 or 3 hours at a time. But it gets done. That's the bottom line. It gets done. In the course of only a week or so, we will be able to look back and look at all our pretty bits like the lattice and the nice painted beams and all the painted poles, and we'll be able to go, yep, that was well worth the effort. So the effort is willpower. And if you think you can't do it, or you think after 1 day's effort you're just not going to be able to do it, you're falling into the defeatist bracket straight away. You can't afford to become defeatist in your thinking. You can't think that what you have on your schedule is beyond you. You just can't do that. History has it that people who thought they would not be able to do it, who went ahead and tried it anyway, and they wound up doing it. Do you think they climbed Mount Everest and thought, fuck me, this, oh shit, I swore again, sorry about that. Do you think they climbed Mount Everest and thought, yep, this is going to be a piece of cake? No. They probably went up there 2 or 3 times and realised some of the limitations of their efforts, and they kept going back until they got to the top. You just can't give up. You have to drag that internal fortitude. The young especially, the young people these days don't seem to have the drive to hang on to things for very long. They'll get an idea in their head and run with it for a day, a week, a month, 3 months. This sort of off-grid stuff you really need to be able to hang on to for a year. Dedicate a year. Commit to a year. Make an agreement with yourself in your soul. Make an agreement with your mind. Make an agreement with your body that no matter what it does to you, you will not give up. You will go through your points that you have pre-thought, all the plans that you have pre-thought, and you'll go through all the processes. The process might be a stupid little piece of lattice, or it might be a beam, or it might be a plant, or it might be whatever. Shit, in this case what we did, I mean I can shape this, so we put a big ass VAP cooler up there. We didn't have cooling in the last place to speak of, and now we've got a big VAP cooler. Got it second hand, figured out how to put it in. Look, it was a mission in itself. That VAP cooler, it took a week to do. So yeah, well, no matter what you're doing, a beam, a plant, a bit of paint, a trim, whatever the hell you're doing, making a set of steps for the back of your cabin, you have to commit to the plan. Stick to the plan, man. Remember, I've mentioned this a couple of times. Mr. Jones stays with his plan outside the gate. Mr. Jones sticks to the system. When you go off grid, you have to stick to your own plan, because guess what? You're off the grid totally, hopefully. And if you're off the grid totally, the system is not there to back you up. All you have is these things here. See that? You have 2 of them and a body that's going to take a beating. And you've got to commit to it. And don't commit for a week. Don't commit for a month. Draw your plans up and stick realistic time frames on them. Whack a year on it. Whack 2 years on it. Whatever you have to. But make sure that time frame is set so far in advance that you will make your body stick to the plan and fulfill that long-term dream of 12 months, 18 months, 2 years or 6 months, whatever, how clever you are. So yeah, this is all to do with willpower, guys. You've really got to drag it up from somewhere that probably doesn't exist in your old life if you came from the burbs. Panning around. I'm going to clean up all the building materials here one day. But yeah, at the moment we're still a bit... we've got 20 things going at once. But yeah, so anyway, I started doing one on the system the other day, and my bloody camera ran out of memory. Just like me, at 61 you run out of memory, camera runs out of memory, it all feels pretty normal really. But yeah, I'd really like to impart the effort that comes in, or impart to all the younger people. Commit to something, put it on paper first, work it out, get a plan together. The plan, each part of the plan has all the processes. Now the process might be just to get the poles in the ground. We have lots of poles. We prefer to build with round treated pine poles, and we build everything off poles. So your plan might be just to mark out poles and put them in the ground. That might take you weeks. Commit to that part of the plan, commit to that process, and complete that process. And when you complete that process, don't sit on your derriere and crack a cold can. Get off your ass and stay off your ass every single day until you have completed your 1 year plan, your 6-month plan, whatever the hell your plan is, and go through every other process. Don't get buried by the big picture. If you think all of this just came, you know, the little flat, well, there's the boat, we moved the boat, we hid it away actually, but yeah, that's another story. Our plan included lots of components. We had the little house which we moved into to start with on this second build. We had the kitchen that was, the poles had been in for 4 years, and then the main house hiding over there, and the shed that I'm sitting in front of now, which is massive. They were all components, and I had to go through those components in processes. The processes are, don't stop and think about your main house if you're building your shed. Don't stop and think about your main house if you're building your kitchen or your outdoor area. Don't stop and think about the electrics if you're just putting the stumps in or the subfloor down. Focus on the day, focus by the day, focus at the time on what part of the process you're working on, and just complete that process. If you stop and stand back and think about all of the processes, you will do your head in. There is no doubt of that. You have to stop and bring everything back to components, just like a business plan. I've been in business for 40 years. I know what I'm talking about with business plans. You have to have a plan that has components that you can fulfill and complete as you go to get to the next stage. And be resolute in your thinking. Make sure your mind has the end goal in sight. Don't let your mind wander and panic over how you're going to get there. Just let your mind drift to the process that you're on, and perhaps the next process on that part of the plan. Do it in stages, and I don't mean stretch it out over 15 frickin' years. Oh look, we've got a plane up there doing chemtrails, I think. Look at that. Ooh. Yeah, that's a plane doing, oh no, might only be condensate, that one. We get a lot of chemtrails here. Anyway, that was changing the subject. Oh, look at that. Gotta back the camera off. But yeah, stick to your plan. Effort involves a lot of stuff. The main thing is willpower. Don't be scared of fucking things up. Oh, I swore again. That's 3 times in one video. I'm really going to get a kick up the arse for this. It's Sunday and it's quite hot. And I'm just about to go and put some shade cloth on those trusses over there. So yeah, stick to your plan, or develop your plan, stick to it, go through the processes and each component of that plan and take it step by step. But put a bit of pressure on yourself. If you know that you're probably going to take 3 days to stick some poles in the ground, well, bugger me dead, take the fucking 3 days. Oh, I swore again. Oh, this is a bad one. She may not let me put this up. But yeah, stick to the plan. Put those 3 days in and get those damn poles in. Get those damn beams up. Get those footings down. Dig that damn garden bed and get it done. And it might take you 3 days. And when you've done it, feel proud, feel strong, feel empowered. And get up and move to the next step. Don't sit back and wallow in some happy days, you know, little one part you did. That one part is just one part of the bigger picture. Keep going. Set your goals and stick to them. But anyway, I'm not going to rattle on anymore. This was a spur of the moment one, hence the couple of swear words. But never mind. Steve from offthegridinoz.com. I've just sent Kerry inside basically to stop painting. It's about 30 degrees now. I can handle doing a bit of shade cloth in the sun. That's not going to kill me. It'll take more than a bit of sunshine to kill me. But yeah, so there you go. Focus on the effort. Stick to your plan. Find something within yourself. Don't rely on your neighbours. Don't rely on your friends. You can only use friends up so long. Stop. Get out of the shower. Stare in the mirror and go, guess what? This all hinges on me. And you just look at yourself and you go, no one else is going to do this for you. You need to go outside and start from step 1 to step 1000 and just go through all those steps, all those processes, and keep finding what it takes to bring that to the fruition. You need to bring each little step to fruition, and end each day with a big smile on your dial, knowing that you feel a bit destroyed. Big deal, you'll get over it, but you will have found something that probably you didn't find. If you've come from the city and you're not used to this sort of stuff, you will have found something that wasn't probably obvious to you back in the city. And now that you've been knocked around a little bit with a bit of digging or a bit of timber lugging or a bit of bloody hard work, bit of firewood cutting, you're sitting there going, well, this is going to be a mission. Well, guess what? It is a mission. But if a 61-year-old can do it, and all of my friends and all the people out there in the whole world that are doing this sort of stuff, they can do it, guess what? You can do it. Or you can sit back and come up with a pathetic, girly friggin' response and go, oh, it's too hard for me. It ain't too hard. What is hard is getting the mindset together. Get the attitude together. Get your enthusiasm together. And focus it all on one point at a time. One part at a time. And keep moving forward. And on that note, I'm going to shut up. It's a beautiful day. Only 30 degrees today, a bit of a breeze, blue sky. I tell you, yeah, it's good to be alive. It's good to be alive. It's good to be off grid. We woke up this morning on the back deck, looked at the kangaroos while we had our coffee, fed the magpies that came in. Can't see anything but our bridge and our creek and the trees. Yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it. Think it through. Get your plan together. Follow it through. Knock yourself around in the process. It's worth it. It's well worth it. And on that note, cheers from Stephen Carey. And I'll be back with another one. I have to continue my rant on the system. The system is something that people don't identify very clearly. Something that a lot of people will just go, oh, I hate the system. Well, unless you've stopped and really looked at the system in detail, or thought about the system in detail, the system is quite an elusive little bitch of a thing. And it affects people in ways that they don't even realise. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do a bit later on this evening. I'm going to try and do a part 2 and make sure my camera has enough memory. But as for now, it's effort. What effort does it take? You know what effort it takes? It's what's within you right now. Not me, not this 61-year-old old fart sitting here waffling on. The effort required is right within you. You're staring at my video. I'm telling you to stop being a weak piece of shit. I'm not being brutal. Just stop being weak. And you can look within yourself, and everything that myself and many, many others have found resides within you. Whether you want to accept it, believe it, or have a go at bringing it out, it is in there. Get some guts, get some skills together if you have to along the way. Learn along the way, make your errors, whatever it takes. It doesn't matter. No one's looking for perfection. What it takes to pull this shit off is just effort. Just effort. So cheers for now. So feel free to subscribe below. Pop into the website. We're still filling it up with information. You know, we don't expect people to register. Not many people are registering. Lots of traffic going through, but everyone's just, as usual, just sucking up the material, and that's good. That's all it's there for. We haven't monetarised anything, so yep. Anything we write, if it's of any use, I don't care if it's only one sentence that is any use to you. Everything we've done is worthwhile. That's why the website's up. And yeah, think things through. Put that effort into play. You will get where you want to go. Cheers for now. I'm going to go in and harass Kerry for 5 minutes, and I'm going to put some shade cloth up. Catch you later. Bye.